So I'm gonna clean the heart first, right? Yeah, this stuff smells good. And I'm gonna get the third eye real good, and I'm giving it back to the. And you're either gonna dump this off in the fire, to the earth, or to the water, right? And we're not gonna drink that water. And I'm gonna clean really good the back of the neck.
So you're using the feverfew?
I'm using the feverfew. I'm gonna just because everyone's gonna do this with whichever plant they choose to use.
Okay.
I don't think there's enough for us all to do it like we did yesterday with the 4 sticks of pirul.
Right.
But there's pirul and there's ruda and there's romero. So you guys can just kind of take your different choice. That way we can get a commentary back of, oh, I felt like this with that. I love the smell. And, okay. And see, normally I'm not going to have stuff that I harvested yesterday. I would have gone out to, which I got a feverfew plant to take home. So now I'll be able to go out and get my plants, right? Okay, cool. So, and we just go over the person everywhere, right? Like me as a man, I try to just kind of like as quickly and the boobs and the genitals and all the private parts, I just try not, I don't avoid them, but I try to just do it so like, you know, I'm just going like this, you know, or to where it's not noticeable. Now, when women clean other women, put your hands there and hold that there and pull that shit out, because a lot of times people are throwing energy with their look, with their thoughts. Ese es el mal de ojo, ese es the evil eye, right? Oh, and a lot of men might not have the highest intention as they're checking out women, so they're like slinging stuff. That's why it's really good to clean the hair real good, because this is our psychic antenna. And a lot of people, oh, look at her hair. Oh, look, you know, all of these things, that stuff gets stuck, right? That's why we rinse our hair off, right? But we do that. Like if her hair was down, I would just go through it all and get rid of that stuff. So I'm gonna go over her with this, right? Okay. And I typically will have this on coals, so it's burning the whole time.
I have some coals. Do you want one?
Oh no, we'll just imagine that we've got them all going right now, because it's time to do it that way. So I get a little bit of this in my hand.
That's the white sage tincture.
And then I ask that anything she's heard that has left a negative imprint or any kind of a negative psychic residue, or anything that's affecting her life in a negative way that came through her ears, I ask that that's released now. And then I do the same thing with the eyes. I ask that anything that she has seen that has caused negative impact upon her, anything that has come through her eyes that has left a negative psychic residue in her being, I ask that be released. Right, so I do that, and then I'll do the sage, brush down the arms, brush down the legs, and then if I wasn't going to be using the egg and all that, I would, and I had, like, if I'm gonna do like a real complete healing, I'm gonna go over all of the joints with that, right? But you don't have to, right? Because we did it with the smoke, we did it with the plant, now we're going to do it with the egg, right? So I take my egg, hold it at the heart center, the heart chakra. I clean off here the corner of the chest, because we hold a lot of grief in the kidney, in the lungs, and that's one of the lung points. That's where the energy enters into the lung meridian. Right where the lung meridian written, so I clean that off. I clean off all the joints really good. I clean off them. You don't need to do anything. You relax.
Can I bring it to the special attention to that joint right here? Because it hurts.
Sure.
Little nation.
Well, no. It's hard for me to do this for you because you want to watch everything.
Yeah,
and I want you to just like close your eyes and be quiet. So that's why I said you shouldn't be the guinea pig, because you're not. Then you're gonna have doubts, and you're not being open. You've closed yourself off, because what you want to do is know what I'm doing. Yeah, right. So I typically have the people close their eyes, right? And nothing against you. That's not. I would do the same thing. You know, it's like that's what we do. I want to learn, right? Yeah. So I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just being realistic, right? We clean off the back of the neck real good. All the joints. And we try to get as much of the body as we can, right? I get the palm, and I'll usually leave it in the palm a little extra, because we touch things we shouldn't touch sometimes and bring stuff in. Okay. I'm going to clean all around the head. And you get some people, they like to do it like this. Because you can see after someone had a Limpia, they come back and their hair's all messy and stuff, right? You get the crown real good. And I like to be more gentle than that, right? I like to do things eloquently and gently, typically. And that's how I like to try to teach people to do things. But everyone's going to have their own way of doing it. And I try to maintain the egg in contact with the person all the time. I'll do the temples real good, the third eye, the ears. And again, I have that same thought in mind, the prayer that I said, I'm trying to get rid of anything that she's heard that's left negative psychic residue in her body when I do her ears. And the same thing with her eyes. I want to get rid of things that she's seen that has left negativity, right? I get the belly, I hold it on the belly button for a minute, and then I clean off the belly, and typically I'm going clockwise. I'll usually clean off the liver real good, up the sides. And again, I try to stay away from the private parts, but because I don't want to get that reputation of being that guy, right? Not my intention. My intention is to do good. If I know the people, I'll do it, and I'll tell them I'm doing it, you know?
Well, if they're coming to you for a cleansing, they have to come in with that understanding that you have to clean every
And you can put your hand on me if you're thought about it.
That's what I think.
I'll hold on. Yeah, for sure. Right, but I just, I want to be as respectful as I can, and I don't, because I'm trying to help this person. I don't want to make them tense up.
Yeah.
And I'm a dude, right? I'm a big old hairy dude, and I don't want someone that's had some kind of trauma, a woman that's had sexual trauma, for me, like, to be doing this wonderful cleansing and her relaxing, and all of a sudden I touch her breast for too long, or I rub the egg over her pelvic region, and I touch something, just briefly, not with that intention, but I don't want her tensing up on me and then holding on to stuff, right? So I would like her to be relaxed. So I'm going to do the bottom of the foot, but I'll typically have her just kind of lean on me while I'm doing that, right?
Like taking a shower with a sponge.
Oh, for sure. And then I finish, and I take the egg and I just put it here, right? And then typically I'll have this person with their eyes closed. So what I do... ¿Cómo te llamas otra vez? Christian. I always forget people's names. She's got her eyes closed. Christian! Right? And typically they open their eyes at that point. I yell at them. I yell their name loud. I clap. And sometimes when they open their eyes, you can see it. They don't know where they're at. Because part of their spirit that was gone has come back. And that's the first thing to be there. And it's like, oh, and it's just like a second. Or a couple seconds at the most, But there's that just instant. And I've asked a lot of people about it, like, yeah, it was weird because when you yelled my name, I opened my eyes and I wasn't sure where I was at. And then it all came back. I'm like, yeah, well, that's good, right? So, thank you.